Jaron Boots Ennis stops Stanionis in the 6th round. What's your reaction to the fight?
Man, I seen Boots perform like that literally 100 times in the gym. So that's not no. That's why people in Philly and the surrounding area is so high on him because we've seen that a million times, bro. This is no lie. In 2014, I hired Boots for camp for Julian Williams. Boots was like 17. I called up Al Heyman and I said, I just seen the best fighter I ever seen in the gym in Philly, in the gym, in a sparring atmosphere. I said, this kid's ridiculous. He gonna win titles from 147, 154, and 160. I swear to God on my kids. I called him up and I said that. So, and this one, Julian was rolling. I'm talking about he was an animal. We couldn't even get no sparring. Boots used to come down to the gym. I paid him every time. I never forget he'd say this to me. I knew he's gonna be special. Like, you don't gotta pay me. You don't have to pay me. I just want to work. And I was just like, damn, I'm gonna pay you, kid, because you deserve it. But that always stuck in my mom, and I paid him every time. But that performance is something that I've seen him do a million times, and it's something that I expected. I think that people just wanted to be sort of like uh, naysayers. Like if somebody say somebody's really good, they want to be like a contrarian. They want to come in and be like, yeah, no, he's not. He's not really that good. I had like family members like that, like the, Roy Jones. Roy Jones like 48 and one all his career. And when he finally got knocked out with Tar, it was like, I told you, I told you. You know what I mean? It's one of them kind of things. But Boots did his thing, man. I was really impressed. People gonna have excuses and say, well, he's big. All right. Stanionis is not this. Well, he was the champion. It's gonna be a million different excuses. But the people that know what they looking at, they know what they looking at. You don't see no fighters who ever spar or box Boots ever say one thing bad about him. Just listen to a guy's wording. You don't. You don't see none of them guys that fought him as amateurs. You don't see none of them say nothing out of line because they know they've been in the ring with him. You don't hear no stories in Philly about nobody doing nothing crazy to him because they know they've been in the ring with him. The kid is a special talent. And when somebody's a special talent, you just tip your hat off to him and just give him his props. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you got to do this. You got to have something negative to say. I'm not a hater, bro. If somebody's special, they special. The kid is a special talent. That's it. Yes, everybody got flaws. Yes, he gets hit. I get it all. He's a special talent. That's it. And as far everybody got something to say about his defense, when you a killer and you attack the way he attack, you're gonna get hit. I mean, do you hear his dad yelling at him like, "Yo, stop playing around, stop dropping hit"? Yes, of course. He's not. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he's a mean little joker, dog. When you hit him, all you do is get meaner. And for right now, he got a chin. Now chins can erode. You can have a chin and lose it, but right now he's taking the punches. And I also noticed that he don't really get hit in combination. He don't really lose rounds behind it. It's more of a pot shot here and there. If you really look at it, it's never nothing sustained where a guy putting together combinations on him and hitting him with multiple shots and he losing rounds and gaining momentum on it. So you gotta know how to look at that in context. It's a shot here and there after he done landed about 5 or 6 bombs on you. A world class dude is gonna punch back and hit you every once in a while, but it's nothing sustained. So like, and I don't know how you could go through a fight and be a knockout artist and not get hit. So again, I'm not like making excuses for his defense, but I think it's getting a little bit overstated. Like he don't have no defense. No, he got defense. He's just not a defensive first fighter. He does have defense. He's just, he's a killer. He's a gunslinger. So um he's a guy that's, puts himself in harm's way. But his chin's holding up. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, uh, he would be the favorite over all of the welterweight champions and all of the junior middleweight champions.
Even
So
at 54.
Yeah, he would be the favorite over all of those guys. Yep.
Even over Fundora?
Yep. Yep.
Mm, wow. Wow, wow,
Yep. I
wow.
mean, listen, it's a lot of tough smoke at 54. And I'm not saying he's gonna run through every single body and score all KOs. I'm not saying that. But if he was to move up to 54, the odds makers will make him the favorite over every single fighter at 154 pounds.
Even Charlo.
Even Charlo. Charlo ain't fought since he fought Canelo. How long ago was that? And then he got to come drop back down in weight. And he's 35 years old. Even Charlo, he'll
Yeah.
be the favorite over him. Yeah, he would be.
You think it'll
The
be
only
close though? Those odds would be close though, or no?
those odds are super close, but Charlo's been off. And they
Yeah.
would consider him coming from 68 to 54, and he's 35 years old. I'm just telling you, he'd be the favorite over everybody at 154 pounds. Now, I don't mean he could beat everybody. You know what? Let me take that back. Bud's at 154. He wouldn't be the favorite over Bud.
Okay.
I keep thinking that Bud moving up to fight Canelo, but he still is, I believe, a champion at 154. Bud would be the favorite over Boots. But other than Bud, Boots will be the favorite over everybody.
Mm, mm. So, leading up to the fight, you felt like this fight was gonna be, I think you mentioned it was gonna be very violent, right? Um Obviously it looked a lot easier than what was being, explained, right? I mean, I know you said that you've seen this time and time again in the gym, but this is supposedly uh Jaron Ennis's toughest task. Do you feel like it was, or do you feel like Karen was? Do you feel like Karen's a
Um,
better fighter? Because
I
also we
think
got you got here Stanionis, 1 year layoff. He's having a kid. I don't know if he's mentally in there for a Jerron Boots Ennis. Talk to me.
well, I don't want to get into the kid thing. You know, people have things in their personal life. You got to fight through that.
True.
Uh, I can't get into that. I can't give a guy an excuse for losing a fight because he having a kid. The kid should
Right.
motivate you to giving the kid a better life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, on paper, Stanionis was his hardest fight, but special fighters got a way of in their biggest moments making the guy look like they're not so good. I mean, right now, looking back on it, I would say Karen gave Boots more trouble, but we might be underestimating Karen. We might be. We might just maybe Karen didn't have the promoters and stuff to put him on a certain
Name.
tier. But he can fight. We watched him fight Boots, two different styles, and after the fight, Boots got a lot of criticism. So maybe Karen is a little better than we all gave him credit for. In boxing, we everybody's arrogant. If they don't know the guy or know the guy's opponent, then they automatically think they can't fight. Well, just because you don't know him, that don't mean he can't fight. Everybody's unknown till they become known. So in boxing, you get a lot of arrogant commentary. Like if a guy's in a smaller weight class, or who did he fight? We don't know them. You don't give them no credit. Or a guy's from another country. Well, who was he? We don't know him, and then you don't give him no credit. So with Karen, nobody knew him. So it was a way to devalue him, and then it was a way to shit on Boots. But he obviously can fight. He obviously has skills. He's obviously durable. He's obviously very determined because he wanted to fight Boots twice. Bro, I know people that don't want to spar Boots twice. So maybe Karen is good. Maybe he's a really good fighter and we just didn't realize it. Uh, but that was a big win for Boots. You know, people kept saying stuff about the Virgil Ortiz thing. Well, he did what he said he was going to do, and that was unify. He unified against an undefeated champion. It's not his fault that Stanionis was off. Boots is not his promoter. It's not his fault. But everybody, the boxing media and the fans aggravate me. One of the biggest reasons why Stanionis was off all this time was because Virgil Ortiz didn't make weight. They were supposed to fight, right? So Boots got a lot of criticism for not moving up to fight Virgil Ortiz, but Virgil Ortiz didn't really get no criticism for standing up Stanionis twice. It was two times he didn't make weight. And I'm not saying he didn't have a legitimate excuse. Things happen in boxing. If he got sick or had some health issues, that's fine. But for some reason, the media overlooks the important facts and they state things without context. One of the reasons why Stanionis was off was because the guy that everybody said Boots was ducking, he was training to fight him twice and had two camps and it didn't go through. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Right then. So that's a solid win for Boots. It's a unification win. He was tired of the people calling him the email champion, even though that wasn't his fault. So he fought an undefeated fighter in a unification fight and he won and he stopped him. You got to just give a guy his props. All of the surrounding circumstances don't have anything to do with him.
Right.
And it was an excellent performance. Hopefully he gets get a shot at the other two belts. I don't know if he will, because I don't know if they're gonna fight him after that performance. But him and his team just got to make a decision because I know making 147 is not easy, and you can only do that but so many times.
Mm, mm. Um, so you believe the stoppage was at a perfect time and we're just gonna get worse for Stanionis.
I don't know. I don't want to. That's the way his coach saw it. That's how he saw it, and that's what it is. I know Boots. I know Boots is sadistic. He's mean, and once he gets you like that, he gonna keep going, and he gonna try to beat you half to death. I know how he is, but Stanionis is a dog, and he was fighting, and who knows? I know the people had some criticism of the stoppage. I don't know. It's a tough call, man. It's the toughest thing a coach has to do. Um, I don't know. I maybe the coach just felt like that was it. Maybe they got a little signal, unspoken signal to let them know that's enough. Who knows? No fighter wants to quit, so you find other ways to do it. And for real, a good coach will pick up on certain things and he'll do it for the fighter. So maybe it was one of those things. I don't know. I really don't know, and I wasn't in there taking that punishment. I think it was going to get worse, but who knows? Maybe Stanionis had another gear to go to. We've seen fights get turned around, but I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this: it's not about whether I agree or don't or disagree with the decision to stop the fight. I respect it. I respect what he did for his fighter.
Okay. Now, when it comes down to styles, some people say, to beat Boots, you would have to have some type of athletic ability to do so, just like Karen. Um, do you feel like maybe we're kind of not we're kind of underlooking Brian Norman Jr. because he does oppose some athletic ability attributes that Stanionis doesn't have. And a lot of people believe that Brian Norman's a bigger puncher, a bigger threat. What would you say about that?
Uh, Let him fight.
But what do you
Brian
think, just
Norman
looking at those styles, though? Because I know
is
you did
Brian
say that
Norman.
that's
Is Brian Norman a
Stanionis,
bigger? Is Brian Norman's a bigger puncher than Boots or Stanionis?
Stanionis, or I mean, you can.
I think Brian Norman is probably a bigger puncher than Stanionis, but Stanionis was more experienced. He had a better win against the dude Butiev. I can't pronounce the name. Maybe the guy who Stanionis beat on the Earl Spence. Uh,
I
Man,
know who you're talking about. That he fought him in like the Pan Ams or something like that.
yeah, he fought him. When Earl Spence fought Ugas in Texas, he fought him. Um, Brian Norman is younger. He's more athletic than Stanionis, but that doesn't mean he's a better fighter. I felt that the best two welterweights in the world fought that night. Now Brian Norman is ascending, and I got Brian Norman now, and I think he's the second best welterweight in the world. Um, uh, I think it's a good fight. I think it's a good fight. I think Norman is improving. Like I said, Raymond Ford was. Norman has looked good his last two fights. He's strong. He's young. He's heavy-handed. Um, I just think that Boots is further along his development. I think Boots is about 3, 4 years older. He's further along in his development. And if you're asking me who would win if they fought, I would favor Boots to win. And I would favor Boots to beat Mario Barrios. Uh, Now, if the fight's going to take place or not, who knows? I don't think I don't want to say that, but I'll it would take a lot for him to get both of them guys in the ring. People don't want to put their fighter in unification fights when they like a 7 or 8 or 9-1 underdog. You know what I mean? Because the likeliness of them losing is big. is a great chance that they're going to lose the fight. And Boots will probably be a 15-1 favorite over Mario Barrios, and probably maybe 7-8-1 favorite over Brian Norman right now.
Mm.
So uh yeah, I mean, we'll see. But I think that Norman is real good, and I think the fight would be I consider both of them a level above Mario right now. But I think that Brian will perform well, but I wouldn't pick him to beat Boots right now. Mm-mm. Boots gonna be tough to beat. The toughest fight for Boots, in my opinion, is Charles Conwell.
Golden Boy fighter.
Hmm.
Why do you believe that that's the toughest task? So obviously at 54, he would have to move up to 54. So he has no tough task at welterweight.
I didn't say they have a tough task because I think Norman will be competitive for the for portions of the fight, but I don't know if he'll be able to sustain it for 12 rounds. Boots like a late water shark. We just really haven't had a chance to see him, bro. He don't really get tired like that. If anything bother him, it's the weight. You know what I mean? The being weight trained, but he got a gas tank. I watch him box 3, 4 guys, 12 4-minute rounds. He don't even be breathing. You know what I mean? So it'd be tough, man. It'd be tough for Brian to beat him. But I do think he will be competitive because they sparred and he knows him. And when you spar a guy a lot, you get his timing and you get his moves and stuff down. But Boots is super creative. He'll be able to find something. He's like his mind is real. I'm telling you, he's very creative. He's a really intelligent kid. Very, very creative fighter. But I think that Charles Conwell is underrated. People might take this personal, but I'm just giving you my honest opinion. I see fighters of different ethnicities, nationalities, races get promoted past a guy like Conwell because, quote unquote, who's a ticket seller and who's not. But Charles Conwell can fight. He knows what he's doing. He's very clever.